Today, we're diving into the story of a remarkable car builder who is absolutely shattering expectations in the custom car world. This is a story you're not going to want to miss.
Okay, just picture it. You're at the SEMA show in Las Vegas. We're talking the Super Bowl of the auto industry. You're standing proudly next to a masterpiece that you poured your heart and soul into. And this guy, cigar in hand, walks up and drops that line on you. Well, that's not hypothetical. That is exactly what happened to Carmen Vera.
So there she is, standing next to this incredible truck she literally brought back from a fiery grave. But instead of getting props, she's getting dismissed. So the real question is, who is Carmen Vera, and how did she earn her spot at the absolute top of her game?
All right, so let's just get right to it and answer that guy's question head on. No, this isn't her dad's car. This is her story.
This kind of thing wasn't exactly new to her, but to really get why she belongs in that elite crowd, we have to rewind. We got to go back to the very beginning to see how her skills were forged in the heart of LA's legendary car culture.
Her story kicks off like so many great car stories do, on the streets of Northeast Los Angeles. Look, her journey wasn't some straight shot to the top. Back in the 90s, she was just soaking it all in, learning from her dad and cousins in the low-rider scene. Then, fast forward, she's a single mom, and suddenly it's not a hobby, it's about survival. She had to learn oil changes, tire rotations, the works. And then, just in the last 7 years, wow, she's just exploded, building her own company, becoming a partner at a major shop, and now she owns 4 businesses. Incredible. And this quote right here, it gets to the very heart of it all. Her education didn't come from some fancy technical college. Nope, it was earned, hands-on, with grease under her fingernails, learning from family, and just figuring it out on her own cars. This is expertise built in a real garage, not a classroom.
So all that experience, from watching lowriders to keeping her own car running, it was all preparing her for what would become the ultimate test of her skills, bringing a vehicle back from the absolute brink of total destruction.
So this challenge shows up at her shop, and, well, it's a mess. It's 3 burned-out Chevys that were literally pulled from a collapsed garage after a massive fire. We're talking scrap metal, basically. And in that pile of junk was a 1972 Chevy C10 pickup.
The transformation, it's just staggering. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got a twisted, melted Hulk that any sane person would have sent straight to the junkyard. But Carmen, she saw something else. And on the other side, the final result, an absolute showstopper, a burnt orange beauty with a stunning, pearlescent white leather interior that she stitched herself. And get this, how long do you think a build of this level takes? A year? 2 years maybe? No way. Carmen and her team did the entire thing in just 7 months. 7. That meant working from 5 in the morning till 11 at night, every single day. That is just pure, unfiltered dedication. And let's be clear, this wasn't just a paint job. She performed a full body-off-frame restoration. That means taking the entire truck apart down to the last nut and bolt. The body comes clean off the frame, and every single piece is either rebuilt, restored, or replaced from scratch. It is the most intense, detailed, and respected way to restore a vehicle, period. Her partner at the shop, Sal Rivas, he just put it perfectly. This wasn't just a restoration, it was a resurrection, from literal ashes to a whole new life. So, with this absolute masterpiece finished, she heads back to SEMA, the very place our story started. But even with the proof of her skill sitting right there on the showroom floor, some of those old attitudes, well, they die hard. These numbers from the show tell such a frustrating story. A whopping 80% of the people who came by didn't see a builder. They saw a model, someone hired to pose next to the truck. Carmen said you could see their whole demeanor flip the second she'd start rattling off the truck's technical specs.
But here's what they were missing. She wasn't just the builder. She was the restorer, the fabricator, the upholsterer who handmade that entire interior. She's the business owner and a partner at the shop. This wasn't some huge team effort where she played a tiny part. She handled almost the whole shebang in-house.
But while some attendees were stuck in the past, the industry itself, they knew what they were looking at. See, at a show like SEMA, vendors want to show off their parts, but multiple vendors asked to feature her truck in their booths. That is a massive sign of respect. It's the ultimate stamp of approval from your peers.
But for Carmen, it's really never been about just the mechanics or the trophies. For her, it goes so much deeper than that.
This right here, this is what drives her. She doesn't just see metal and chrome. She sees family history. She sees memories. For her, restoring a car is all about falling in love with its story and bringing that story back for the next generation.
And this passion is deeply, deeply personal. It all started with her own #1 baby, a pink '79 Oldsmobile Cutlass she picked up for $4,000. This was the car that taught her the business, the car she poured her own life, her own struggles, and her own triumphs into.
Listen to this. While she was restoring that Oldsmobile, she was going through a really tough time in her life. She feels like the car was a witness to her resilience. The process of building that car up was completely intertwined with building herself up.
And that's the mission she's on today. She wants to put these classics, these beautiful time capsules of family and history, back out on the streets where they belong, one amazing car at a time.
Carmen Vera's story, it's about so much more than cars. It's this powerful reminder that some things are just worth saving, that there's incredible beauty and strength in bringing something or someone back from the ashes. And it kind of leaves you with a big question, right? In a world that moves so fast and throws so much away, what stories around us are truly worth restoring?